Well. Welcome back to another episode of I Can't Believe Dylan is finally back posting YouTube videos to help me grow my online course business. Yes, that's right. It has been a little bit of time since I last posted on YouTube. My apologies. I am planning to be a little bit more consistent on this platform, but I got some really good content to share with you in this video today because we are going to talk about how you can turn your content on Instagram into digital product sales, right? You have all these people that are viewing your content, but for whatever reason, it's not translating into online course sales. And in this video, I'm going to share with you my absolute favorite Instagram automation. I think it's going to be really helpful for you, and we're going to dive into it. Now, if you are unfamiliar on Instagram, people are asking people to comment a keyword. So if you have a piece of organic content, you could ask someone to comment a keyword if they're interested in whatever the video topic is. If they want a freebie or they want a link to this offer or whatever, right? They're going to comment a keyword, and this is what happens behind the scenes. It will automatically trigger a new DM conversation. But it's not just a one and done sort of message. It can be a whole flow or a series of automated messages, and it can take them on this user journey that can send them all over the place. You can send them to pages on your website. So this is really good because it's taking people off of the Instagram platform and it's bringing them to your website. It's bringing them to a page on your site where you can, have them apply to work with you. Maybe it can collect an email address so that you can be sending them emails and automatically send them through a sequence of yours that you might have created. So really powerful stuff. And this is what builds businesses behind the scenes. So the reason why people don't really have large followings on Instagram, but for whatever reason they're making money, and you're like, how are they doing that? Like I don't get it. Most likely they're running ads and they are getting people to comment keywords, and then the sales are happening off the platform. That's what I'm doing, and it works really well. So in this video, I want to share with you my absolute favorite automation. I think is going to blow your mind because this automation is near and dear to my heart because it protects my time. One of the reasons why I got into this business in the first place, selling digital products instead of one-on-one coaching, which is what I was before, one of the reasons is because I was just trading my time for money consistently, always burnt out, never really had a way to break free from the hamster wheel of creating content to generate leads, hopping on sales calls to close those leads, and then even after that, once someone does buy and become a one-on-one client, I had to spend even more of my time working with them, getting them results. So it was really a drain on my time. And the thing I learned through that entire experience is that at every single part of my business, I'm going to do my absolute best to automate as much as I possibly can and protect my time. And this ManyChat automation, this Instagram keyword automation, is literally the definition of protecting your time. And this is why. So when someone comments a keyword, let's get into it. When someone comments a keyword inside of this Instagram keyword automation, they're going to be sent an introductory message. And in order for them to progress through this flow, they have to click this yes, please button. What's going to happen, especially if you're running ads, you are going to get people that comment a keyword, whether it's on an ad or your organic content. They comment a keyword and that's it. That's it. They don't have any intention on taking that next step to engage with your message, with your flow. That right there tells me not worth my time. If they want me to message them, then they need to show me that they're at least a little bit interested, and they'll go through this process even a little bit to prove to me that it's worth my time to reply to. Because when you're running ads, you're going to get hundreds or sometimes thousands of these dud leads a month, where they say that they're interested, they comment that keyword, it starts this automation, but they don't click this yes please button, and then it's like, not worth my time. Okay, so they click this yes please button. The very first thing that this specific automation is going to do is it's going to ask them to follow me, because why not? And it's going to basically gatekeep whatever it is that they want on the other side of a follow. And the reason it works is because of this conditional clause here. And again, if you don't want to set all this up inside of your ManyChat account, just download the kit below, and you'll have 9 one-click install templates that you can just plug in. It's already there. The structure's already there. You just have to go in and change the words to your brand, to your niche, all of that, to your offers. So essentially, this conditional clause is what makes it possible to force them to follow you. If they're not following you, it's not going to keep progressing. Once they follow you on Instagram and they click this done button, then it's going to pass them to the next message in this sequence. The next message is where you give them whatever it is that they wanted. In this example, it's a ChatGPT prompt. This specific one takes them to a page on my website that's a landing page where they have to enter their name and email address to get access. So it's still collecting an email address. Sometimes I have the email collection in this actual ManyChat flow. Here I don't. And then this is the secret sauce. This is where everything gets crazy. So after they get those prompts, they are automatically sent into the lead filter funnel. The lead filter funnel. And for this, essentially what I'm doing here is I'm saying, wait, hold on, you can't see it. I don't want to block it. Okay, here you go. So I'm saying, I'm telling them a little bit about what I'm doing, what I'm working on, and I'm saying, is this something that you'd like to learn more about? And if they say yes, then it triggers the very first question. You can think of this as a lead filter funnel. You can also think of this as a quiz funnel. It's going to ask them a series of questions. And based on their answer, it's going to put them in different buckets and give them a little bit of a different question for the next question. So the very first question is always the same. And when you look at this, don't get distracted by my content for my business, for my offers, all of that. I'm going to make it super simple. The very first question, what you're trying to do is sort them into two different buckets. Are they just getting started, or have they been doing this for a while? And the reason that's important is because it gives you an idea of the type of person that you're talking to. If they've been doing this for a while, then they're either successful or they're struggling. If they are just getting started, then they either have lots of ambition and they want to do big things, or they don't really care. So this first question is really important because it will put them in the right buckets for question number 2. So if they say that they've been doing this for a while, in whatever your niche is, they're a veteran, they're experienced, they've been in your niche, and that's what they're saying. Then for the second question, what I'm trying to decide is, have they been successful or have they been struggling? So this next question will put them in different buckets. For me, it's based on income, but for you, it might not be based on income, and that's totally fine. But for whatever your niche is, you want to understand, have they been successful up to this point because they've been doing it for a while, or have they been struggling? If they've been successful, then they're going to be placed in the highest tier of a lead, what I call a hot lead, for the last question. If they're somewhere in the middle, I'll probably still put them in the hot lead because they've been doing it for a while and they're relatively successful. If they are not successful at all, they're actually going to get bumped down to this second bucket for the third question. So that's very important, right? Because they want to be successful, they've been doing it for a while, but they've been struggling and they're really behind. They might not be the hottest lead. They might still be a great lead, but they're not in that top bucket. Then for the second tier of question number 2, if we go down to this second question, this is for the person who's just getting started. So the follow-up question to that person, if they say, yeah, I'm just getting started, is, what's your goal? What's your ambition? Do you want this to be a full-time job, or do you want this to be a part-time side income, or whatever your niche is? You're going to try to understand just how big they're thinking here, if they're thinking small or if they're thinking big. And then if they're thinking big, then I'm going to bump them up to the second tier for the third question, which is the strong lead. If they're thinking small, if they're like, yeah, I am just getting started and I don't really see this going anywhere, then I'm going to bump them into this third poor quality lead tier. Okay, so those are the first 2 questions, and now they're in one of 3 buckets for this third question. And for this third question, for the very hottest leads, the ones that have said, yes, I'm an expert. I'm not an expert, but I've been doing this for a while and I've been pretty successful. I'm basically just going to ask them an open-ended question, because my goal is to come into this conversation with as much information, as much ammunition, if you want to think about it that way, as possible, so that my first response after the automated bot is over is very, very strong, very personalized, and I really have a clear idea of what I want this conversation to look like and where I can steer the conversation. So it's an open-ended question. For me, I say, what's the biggest struggle that you're currently facing? Because again, if they're a hot lead, if they're making good money in their business, I just really want to know why they're here. Why are they in this automated flow? What about this is something that they want to take their time to respond to? And then typically from there, I'll either send them to a high ticket offer sales page, or sometimes I'll send them to a application page if they want to work with me one-on-one. Or sometimes I just won't have either of those options, and I'll just say this last message. I'll hop in the chat shortly to personally respond. In the meantime, here's some things that you might be interested in, and I might send them to case studies, testimonials, or some other really cool place to kind of nurture them a little bit more. Then for the second bucket of question number 3, so this is for either the person that is just getting started but super ambitious, or the person that has been doing this for a while but has been struggling, is I'm going to understand what category they're focused on right now, because they have this big problem, and that's what my high ticket offer helps them with. But what specific area of this problem are they most interested in trying to fix? So in my example, I give them these 3 options. I say, over the next 90 days, what are you most focused on? Is it launching a course? Is it trying to run paid ads, either starting ads or getting your current ads working, or writing emails, growing your email list, selling inside of your emails, email marketing, that sort of thing. And for me, I already have mid-tier products for each of these. So I just send them to the sales page for those options. And then I end the message with, hey, I'll be here to personally respond to any of your questions shortly. In the meantime, what's the biggest thing that you're currently facing, the biggest struggle? So again, I'm ending the automation with something to encourage them. If they have questions or if they want to give me more information, they can, because again, that makes it easier for me to have a better response. And then the final tier, the third tier, the lowest, poorest quality lead for the third question, is essentially me saying, what's the biggest thing that's keeping you stuck, and giving them a link to a low ticket offer, because they're really not, they're not showing me that they're really going to be a good option for any kind of high ticket or mid ticket offer. They're just not there yet. Maybe they will be sometime, but right now they're not. And so for me, I'll give them a low ticket offer that's related to the reason why they started this chat in the first place. Whatever that keyword was, if there's something kind of related to that I think they might be interested in purchasing for a low ticket offer, that's the link I'm going to send them. But something that's low ticket, something that's introductory, that might give them a little taste of what they might be able to achieve, that's something that they might pull the trigger on. And so that's the lead filter funnel. It's really incredible, especially if you're running ads. You have to get this set up. And again, if you want the templates so that you can just one-click install all of these into your ManyChat account and just go in and change the words for your brand, for your niche, for your offers, the link is in the description below. I hope you like this video. I hope that this makes a lot of sense. It's really incredible, especially if you're running ads, to make the most of that ad traffic by getting people to comment a keyword, because not only are you able to recoup that lost lead, they're going to your organic content, kind of stalking you a little bit after they see your ad. They drop a keyword, then you can capture that lead. You can start that DM conversation. You can get them on your email list. You can send them to a low ticket offer. Whatever you want to do to recapture that lead, you can do with these keywords. And specifically with this filter funnel, it's just incredible, because you know exactly who you should be replying to, and you're not wasting your time trying to start conversations with people that have absolutely no interest in ever talking to you. So hope you like this. Make sure that you follow this YouTube channel. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm like so new to YouTube, I don't even know the call to action. Subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be dropping a ton more videos, and hopefully this is going to help you to make more digital product sales inside your online business.